Okay, so find yourself on your mat. I'll have a little chat just now, then we'll get into the class and then we'll finish with a little bit of relaxation and then you can just stay where you are after that, chill out, do as you wish. But first of all, I just want to thank everybody so much for those people who have joined, people who've been texting support, texting your little stories about how breast cancer has affected you or how somebody in the family has been affected with breast cancer or cancer. So thank you so much for being part of this. It was really just to try and raise awareness, raise a bit of money for Breast Cancer Ireland, but also main thing is just to encourage everybody just to check themselves. So important to check yourself. And I'm going to extend, I know we're talking about breast cancer here, but I'm going to extend it to check yourself in general, okay? So we really need to get to know ourselves inside and out, mind and body. And the more that we are aware of our own selves and we get to know ourselves, the more that we can, and the quicker that we can notice the little negative changes that may be happening in our body or in our mind. That might be a little lump that we find, it might be our mood's getting a little bit low, it might be a niggle in our back. But the sooner that we can notice that and be aware of that negative change, the sooner that we can try to address that before it snowballs, before it turns into something a lot more, the lump gets bigger or spreads, or the mood comes in so low that you can't engage with everyday activities, the back's so painful that you can't do the sports or the movements that you wanted. Okay, so just make sure that we all check ourselves, tune into your own body. This is our house, this is what we've got to live in, you have to look after it. Okay, so I'm going to put it on the Facebook and on the Instagram, just the details of if you wish to donate any money. And for all those people that have already reached the target that I said, so I'm so delighted with that, really, really appreciate it. Okay, so now we're going to get ourselves moving. So we're going to bring our feet together. I'm going to take ourselves into hip distance. So I want you to just imagine from the top of the thighs, we're just going to rotate out. When we look down, we're in our Pilates stance, have a little V there like a pizza slice, and then slide the heels so we're now in line with the toes, okay? So this is our hip distance apart, where the head of femur enters the hip socket. And I want you to, from there, just lengthen the toes and then float the toes up and just release the toes down. So just lifting the toes and letting them rest back down to the floor. I want you to focus on just below the big toe, just below the little toe and the centre of the heel. They're going to form two tripods, and those tripods are nice, even and balanced. We've not rolled out with our feet, we've not rolled in. We're keeping nice and even and balanced through those tripods as we lift our toes and lengthen. Okay, so just finding that nice ground and that nice stability. Then we're going to lengthen our toes down. Start to be aware of drawn up through the inner thighs, drawn up through the pelvic floor, opening through the hips. Begin to lengthen through the spine and create that space in between each vertebrae as we reach the crown of the head nice and tall towards the ceiling. Open across the chest and collarbone and just let the shoulder blades just gently glide and slide down towards the base of the spine. So we're going to focus on our Pilates box being nice and square or even through both sides of our body. We're not going to collapse our Pilates box or have it lopsided or rotated. And when we have that nice full open Pilates box, it just means everything internal, our respiratory system, our digestive system, all our organs, they just have a better chance of doing their job. Okay, so from there, just want you to take a nice breath in through the nose. We're just going to focus on our breath, just getting ourselves here and grounded for a moment. So as the breath comes in through the nose is going to warm the breath. It's going to clean the breath, and it's going to take it all the way down into our lungs. Fill into the lungs, expand into the ribs, and expand into the sides of the Pilates box. As you softly exhale that breath through the mouth and empty the breath, feel the waist hugging away from the waistband of the trousers. Feel the belly button gently draw back towards the spine, slide up behind the rib cage, and just feel that body's natural corset just hugging, supporting, and protecting and stabilizing that spine. Again, inhale through the nose, feel nice and wide and full. So this is a nice lateral breath, and then exhale softly through the mouth. And one more, just make sure we don't bring it into the chest. That's a short, shallow breath. That kicks into our fight or flight system. We want to take it all the way down to be a little bit more calming, a little bit more organizing, and gently release. Perfect. Taking the arms down, we're just going to start by rolling our shoulders. Ease out some of that tension from the day, and just think symmetry and balance. We're looking for balance into the body. Nice big circles as we inhale, exhale, release, and inhale, and exhale, release. On the next inhale, draw the shoulders up towards the ears, and as you exhale, let go of the tension, let go of the stress, let go of the shoulders. Inhale. So we can't have fluid movements if we still have the tension in the body, so we're just trying to let it go. And then one more, inhale, draw the shoulders up, And exhale, gently release. Perfect. Maintaining that position that we have set from ankles to knees to hips, shoulders and head, crown of the head reaching tall, gentle connection through our core. We're just going to inhale, and as you exhale, take the right ear down towards the right shoulder. So the shoulder's not coming up towards our ear, the ear goes to the shoulder. Get that nice stretch and lengthen through the left side, and then restack nice and tall into center. Inhale, exhale, take it to the opposite side. Just pausing for a second, keeping that nice connection, keeping zipped up, and then restack the spine even taller. Inhale. This time as you exhale, nod the chin towards the chest and begin to stretch through the back of the neck. Feel those shoulder blades still sliding down towards the base of the spine, still maintaining nice even balance through the soles of the feet. And then restack with the inhale, and as you exhale, taking the gaze up, lifting the chin, lifting the gaze, stretching through the front of the neck, and then release back into center. Inhale the breath, and as you exhale, rotate through the neck and go over one shoulder, trying to keep stable through that Pilates box, and bring it all the way back into center, and then exhale, taking it to the other side. Perfect, bring it all the way back into center. So we're just going to take it through our spinal movements now, just to warm up the spine. So we're going to interlace our hands, place them towards the base of the skull, and use the hands like we're trying to get some traction. So the tailbone's reaching down towards the floor, lower abdominals drawn back towards the back of the pelvis, lift it out for a rib cage, and we're just going to inhale, and as we exhale, nod the chin towards the chest, and as though we're trying to coil that spine up, and we're only going to take it as far as the base of our bottom rib. Then we're going to bring our elbows together, stretching between the shoulder blades across the upper back. Then as we inhale, float the elbows, and then fill in between each vertebrae with that breath as you restack the spine nice and tall. And then as you exhale, take you into a back extension, taking the gaze tall to the ceiling, lifting the gaze to chest to heart, open from elbow to elbow and shoulder to shoulder, and then inhale, bring it tall. Exhale, nod the chin towards the chest, rolling it down to the base of the ribs. Bring the elbows together, get that nice stretch, and then open it out. Float the spine, stack the spine, reach the crown of the head tall, and then extension only as far as is comfortable in your body. Bring it back into center. Now we're going to take it to our lateral bends. We've done our forward flexion, back extension. So we inhale, reach the spine tall, and as you exhale, take that right elbow down to the floor and take the left elbow tall to the ceiling. We're shortening through one side, and we're opening and lengthening through the other. Restack the spine tall with that inhale, and as you exhale, left elbow down, right elbow tall, shortening through the left side of the waist, open through the right side of the ribs, the waist, but also through the side of the spine. Keeping that flexibility and that ability, bring it to center, one more each side. Inhale, and as you exhale, this time just imagine you're squeezing the air a little bit more out of that right lung, emptying, getting rid of the stale air, and then as we inhale, we fill that lung with that cleansed fresh air. And then exhale, taking it to the other side. Empty and squeeze the stale air out of the left lung, and then restack it nice and tall. Now for a rotation. So imagine on our hips, we have two headlights. They're going to point forward. Inhale the breath, lift the ribcage out the pelvis, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, rotate the spine, spiral the spine upwards. 3 little pulses. 1, exhale. 2, exhale. 3, inhale, tall to center. Exhale, rotate the opposite direction. Headlights face forward, spine reaches tall, pulse 1 and 2 and 3. Bring it tall back into center. Last one on each side. Inhale, find your length. Feet in the tripod stay stable. Rotating round. The headlights facing forward. Bring it all the way to center. Last one. We're wringing that waist out. Wringing everything internal into that little flush and stimulation as you bring it all the way back into center. Rest the arms down. Give a few little rolls with the shoulders. Roll the shoulders down. Get that length from our ears to our shoulders. And then we'll last little bit of rotation. Just free rotation. Letting those arms and hands gently tap off the body. As they tap, they just bring awareness, connecting the body and the brain. They bring blood flow. And once again, ease out that tension. Perfect. Bring yourself back into center. So as the day goes on, we can get quite rounded shoulders. As we said before, as the shoulders round forward, it closes up that Pilates box and makes it harder for everything internal to do its job. So a nice one to open that out as our dumb waiter. We're going to tuck our elbows into the sides of the body. Keep our stacking and our loaded up our joints, crown of the head tall. And we're looking for a nice long line from our elbow to wrist to fingertips. So try not to let the arms float up or down or tip the hands forward or up. Imagine that tray is balanced onto those forearms. Lengthen the legs, nice and long, drop to that pelvic floor, inhale the breath, and as we exhale, rotate it out. Inhale, bring it to center. You should feel nice open and lifting through the chest, and glide the hands in, and exhale, and inhale to center. Now keep that gentle drop to the pelvic floor, gentle wrap of the corset. We'll do a couple more, open it out, and release to center. On this last one, open it out, little pulses, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the hands in and rest it down. Perfect. We're ready for our opening squat. So we're keeping our knees in alignment with our toes, keeping those tricep nice and even into the ground. And as we squat down, we're going to send that bottom back, reach our arms forward, lengthen through the spine, push the floor away with the feet, but also with the arms. The arms are like levers. Inhale, squat, exhale, press back up. So lengthen that bottom back as though we're sitting into a chair. As you push back up, fully open through the fronts of the hips, engage the back of the legs and the glutes, and power back up nice and tall. Trying to create that space into the spine. Pressing and lengthening, squatting it down. We've got 2 more. On this last one, we're going to stay down there. Hold it there. Relax those shoulders. Little pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7. Now keep drawn up to that pelvic floor. Keep the ribs gently drawn together. Hugging the waist away from the waistband, your trousers, and pulse. Turn the palm of the hands to face each other. Our gaze looking through the center of the palms and hands. We're going to float the hands and the gaze nice and tall. Lift to get that extension into the spine, and then glide them all the way back down. 2 more. Float the hands. Lift the gaze, lift the chest, lift the heart. Find that extension and glide it all the way back down. Our last one, we floating the hands up, lifting the gaze, lifting the chest. Pause for a second. Push the floor away, lengthen it nice and tall, and rest those arms down. Lovely, get a little roll with our shoulders. So from there, spread the toes, be aware of those 10 toes, and you can take your hands to your hips, you can take your hands down by the sides. We're just going to float it up onto the toes and sink the heels down. So as you come up, make sure we're not shifting away forward, tilting the pelvis and compensating. We want to straight up and straight down. We start to work into the feet and into the ankles and deep into the postural system, which is just our internal systems giving us a little feedback from body to brain to tell us what to do to keep us nice and upright, nice and stable, and to get that nice control of our movements. Perfect. On the next one, we float up onto our toes. We're going to float both arms nice and tall to the ceiling and glide them down. So as arms come overhead, we're just getting that little extra challenge, making sure the shoulders don't creep up towards our ears. Making sure as we take our arms up, the rib cage is gently drawn together. We've not caught that rib cage, and glide it down. 1 more. Just challenging that balance as we reach. Glide our arms down and rest our heels down. Now march out if you need to. This time we're taking our arms forward, shoulder height. Let the shoulders glide down again. Spread the toes and be aware of the toes. We're going to bring it all the way up onto our toes again and sink it down. Bring it onto our toes and sink it down. And 1 more, bring it onto our toes and rest it down. Now maintain that nice square Pilates box. This time as we take up onto our toes and inhale, we reach 1 arm up, 1 arm down, exhale, press to center. Opposite direction, 1 arm up, 1 arm down. As you exhale to center, draw belly button towards the spine. Wrap the corset. Gently draw the waist away from the waistband of the trousers. Feel that nice opening as you draw the breath in nice and full and exhale to center. Draw the breath in nice and full, challenge that balance, bring it back into center, perfect, couple more. We inhale and we exhale, and our last one, inhale and exhale. Now hold those arms nice and low. We're going to challenge the shoulders tilting, we're going to challenge our balance. We're going to bring all the way up onto our toes, okay? So we're going to take it to our heel beats. We're going to lower our heels and bring it straight back up, okay? These are going to be little pulses. I want you to take full range and full length. If we just do little small ones, it's going to tighten and shorten through. So what we don't use, we lose as full length as we can. We're going to have to use our corset and our connection to really stay as stable and try and keep us as tall and upright, okay? If the hands in front is a little challenging, take them down to sides, pop them onto the hips, and focus on that movement through the backs of the legs, all right? So we inhale, lengthen, Float up onto our toes, spread the toes. We need to use all 10 of them. As though we have a string, reaching our crown of the head tall to the ceiling, slide the shoulders down, get that connection. We're ready to go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lengthen and pause, step on those toes. Anytime you need to, you rest it out on these, okay? We're 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lengthen and pause. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lengthen and pause. We've got 2 more sets. Pulsing away. Using those muscles in the leg to pump the blood all the way down to the extremities and hold and pause. Last set. We've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lengthen and pause. Take the arms down. Take the heels down and give a little march out. Lovely. Take it to the back of your mat, okay? We're going to roll it down to the floor. So find that nice grounding through the soles of the feet. Be aware of those 2 tripods again. Not roll to the outside, not roll to the inside. Now stacking and loading, finding as much space into your spine, shoulders down. We're going to inhale, and as you exhale, nod the chin towards the chest. Keep that connection through our core. We slowly roll it down. So we're peeling our spine up the wall. When you've got as far as it's comfortable for your body, we're going to inhale there, and as you exhale, just try to let go into it just a little deeper. Feel the stretch to the back of the legs. Feel that stretch to the spine decompressing. For this moment in time, our neck is not supporting our head, just let it be. And then as we inhale, feel the breath in. We're going to exhale, drop to the arches, drop to the inner thighs, scoop the abdominals, rolling it up, stacking, ribs over pelvis, shoulders over ribs, and head over shoulders. Taking it down again. We inhale, we find the leg. We exhale, we nod the chin towards the chest. Start to stretch the back of the neck, the upper spine, the middle spine, the lower part across the back of the pelvis, and letting our body just rest in. So we take that nice breath in through the nose, big exhale through the mouth, sink into just a little deeper. And then take a little bend in the knees, try to keep our pelvis as stable as possible. We're going to walk our hands out for 1, for 2, and for 3. We are taking it into our plank position. If you need to pop the knees down on top of the toes, make it a little bit easier, and just hold the stationary plank. If you want to hold the full plank and add the movements in, feel free. So our wrists are directly below our shoulders. Shoulders run down away from our ears. Pelvis is neutral, our tailbone reaching down towards our heels. We're going to inhale the breath. As you exhale, draw the right knee towards our right elbow and press it back. Inhale as you exhale, left knee, left elbow, press it back. Inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, cross the right knee under the body to the left elbow and pop it back with that inhale. Exhale, left knee under the body to the right elbow. Inhale, pop it back. Then this time we're going to take your right foot and just step it out towards that right hand and pause there. We'll take it as far as it's comfortable with you. And then from the right hand, the one beside the foot, we're going to float the hand and float the gaze tall to the ceiling. Find that length in the spine, reach that back leg long, wrap that corset, bring that hand down, and then step that leg back. Ready for the other side. Step the left leg, find that length and stability. Take that left hand and the gaze, reach it tall to the ceiling, open across the chest and the collarbone again. Take that hand down, step that leg back, step one knee down, pop the other knee down, and take it to a little shell stretch. One down onto the heels. So we're looking for the tailbone to be as close to the heels and walk the hands forward. And maybe we'll get that stretch to that lower lumbar spine. Nice breath in, fill the back of the pelvis, fill the back of the ribs, fill the back of the shoulders. As you exhale, just sink into just a little deeper. And then when you're ready, walking it up and taking it into our 4-point kneeling this time. So we're in our 4-point kneeling, wrists directly below our shoulders, knees directly below our hips, nice length from top of the head to tailbone, and that sensation again of those rib cages drawn together underneath the body. Now they've got gently drawn towards the spine, shoulders are just gliding down. Just going to mobilize the spine with a little calf stretch. We're going to inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, tuck the tailbone as it's tucking between our legs. Close the sit bones at the back of the body. Scoop up to the pelvic floor and the lower abdominals. Round the spine. Push the floor away and then begin to take the gaze through the knees, in between the thighs. And get that nice rounded position as we enter the breath button. Top of the head all the way up and over to our tailbone. As we inhale, we're going to lengthen. Top of the head to tailbone. Then we're going to tilt the pelvis, separate the sit bones, curve the spine down towards the floor, push the floor away with the hands, lift the gaze, the chest, the heart. And then ready, a couple more, a little faster. Exhale and rounded. And inhale, lengthen and lifting and separate those sit bones. Closing the sit bones, tucking and emptying that breath. And then inhale, taking away. And then bring it all the way back into 4-point kneeling and ready for our arm and leg movement. So we're just going to try and stabilize through our body, keeping that Pilates box nice and square. If you want to visualize yourself looking down from above, it's going to stay nice and even through the two sides. We'll start with our right hand and our left leg. And we're just going to slide them as far to the end of the mat as we can and back into position. And just start to get this movement into our body. We're still in connection with the floor, so we're just laying down a motor pattern of what we're looking for in our movements. And then you can stay with this position if you wish. If you want to make it a little bit harder, we're going to lengthen and draw the elbow knee in. Lengthen and draw the elbow knee in. 2 more, and draw back in. 1 more, and hold it there. We're now going to hold that lengthened position, nice static balance. Pushing the floor away with that left hand. Wrapping that corset. Now we're going to inhale, tap the hand and foot, exhale, float up. Inhale, tap, exhale, lift. Inhale, tap, exhale, lift. 2 more. Press back up. 1 more. Press back up. Tap them down. Slide them in. Ready for the other side. Okay, so stabilize. Get your position set up. Realign. Lengthen from top of the head to the tailbone. Connect the corset. Wrap the rib cage. We're going to slide the left arm, right leg. Slide it back in. So we're looking for controlled, precise movements. Just because this arm and leg are moving, nothing else needs to move in our body. We need to be able to stabilize some parts and mobilize others. Stay with that level, or we're going to float them, draw elbow, knee in, and push away. Spine staying stable. Stay long from top of head to tail. Push away. Draw back in. 2 more. Inhale and exhale. Next one, lengthen. This time we tap and press and tap and press. Stay even through both sides of the waist. Not shortening, not lengthening, not dipping the spine. 2 more. 1 more. Press. Tap it down. Slide it in. And just before we take a little shell stretch, imagine on your tailbone you have a crane, and we're just going to draw a big circle with our tailbone. Massage out that lower lumbar spine. Get that nice movement in. Then reverse. Stay long through the upper body. And then bring it back into a nice lengthened spine. Walk it back, tailbone down onto our heels and hands forward. Taking into that shell stretch. Feel the breath into the back of the pelvis, the back of the ribs, the back of the shoulders. Exhale, melt down on the heels, on your thighs, and into the mat. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to bring it over into sit-in. So, we're going to find ourselves sitting up nice and tall on the bony parts of our body. So find a nice tall position. Lengthen the legs away, that hip distance apart again. We're looking for our shoulders to be stacked over our hips, crown of the head reaching tall. We're just going to pop our hands behind the backs of the thighs, just to give us a little bit of stability, okay? So we're going to tuck that tailbone under, let the sit bones feel they're sliding down towards our heels, and take it to the back of the pelvis as we open out through the fronts of the hips, the scooping abdominals, and we're just getting a nice stretch to that lower lumbar spine. Then we're going to round it forward as our forehead is coming to our knees, and then restack it tall. Always again, go for that nice full length. Don't stop down here. What we don't use, we lose. We round it, we open, and then we round it forward, and then we stack and we lengthen. And then again, roll up the sit bones, round it. This time we're going to hold it here. You can keep your hands to the backs of the thighs just to give a little bit of feedback if you need a little bit of support. If you want to make this a little harder, you can take the 2 hands off, okay? So you either got one hand, and we're going to work the right hand, or both if you find that okay. We're going to take one hand, reach it tall to the ceiling, take it back down. Swap hands over if you're supporting, take the other hand tall to the ceiling, reach it back down. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, into the breath, wrap the corset. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, wrap the corset. This time, we're going to take one arm wide, keep our shoulders, maybe it's forward, press back into center, opposite side. And just because this arm is opening, nothing else in the body should be disturbed. We can open that arm out without sinking back into that C curve, without changing the position of that Pilates box. Draw back in. Stay with alternating or as an extra little challenge. And we inhale, we take both arms nice and tall. Exhale, glide it down. Back of pelvis still heavy down to the mat. Inhale, taking both arms up. Exhale, glide them both down. Make them wide. Inhale, open. Exhale, hug the energy and connect into center. Inhale, draw on that nice full breath. Relax shoulders, exhale, press it back into center. Take the hands to the back to the thighs and round and roll back up. Perfect. Take a little stretch if you need it. Hands onto the fronts of the shins, stretch it out, and then just going to slowly roll it down to your mat. Just adjust yourself so you have space. Toes pointing forward, and we're going to take our head down to begin with and pelvis into neutral. So anybody that's new to Pilates, I'm just going to give a little prompt, a little reminder for our neutral pelvis. We're looking for the pubic bone and the two hip bones to lie nice and level. And when they're nice and level, our spines in our natural alignment with our natural curves, we should have a small little space in the lower lumbar spine. We've not lifted the tailbone and imprinted that lower back. We've not arched, over-arched and popped the rib cage and got a big gap underneath. It should be nice and level. If we sat a little marble in the center of that triangle, that marble is resting. It wouldn't roll forward, it wouldn't go back, it wouldn't roll side to side. So visualize that little marble on your pelvis, and we're just going to take it to our chest lift. So we're going to cradle the head into the hands, close the rib cage, lengthen the spine, feet hip distance apart, stretch and lengthen the toes. Inhale the breath as you exhale, sliding out the chin towards the chest, round it forward, glance at that pelvis, imagine that little marble, make sure that it stays nice and stable, and then roll the spine away. Exhale, round it forward, get that forward flexion, and then lengthen away, and exhale, round it forward. Hold it here. If you need to pop the head back down onto the floor, if you can stay in forward flexion, stay there, glance at the pelvis and through the thighs. We're going to slide that right heel away, nice and long. So you're drawing a line in the stance with your heel, and then draw the heel all the way back to the sit bone. Same leg again, right leg, lengthen it fully. Exhale, draw the heel back in. One more, inhale, lengthen, stable pelvis. Exhale, draw the leg back in, ready for the left side. Inhale, push the heel away, lengthen the leg long. Exhale, draw the heel back in, wrap the corset. Inhale, push that leg away, retrace in the same path. Exhale, draw back in, and one more, we get that nice length, and we draw the leg back in, return the foot, and lengthen, and return the spine. Ready for a single leg stretch. We're going to hug the two knees in for a second. We're going to give a little roll from side to side, and then bring the two legs to tabletop. Okay, so we should find a little table with our shins. We're going to take our left hand on top of our right knee and put our right hand onto your shin, and just start to draw that leg in towards the body as you send that left leg away. Now looking for, again, length and stretch into that leg. Leg can be a little higher to make it easier, or you can take it a little lower towards the floor to make it a little bit more challenging. But only take it as low as you can maintain that nice stable pelvis. So as you take the leg down, if the pelvis begins to tilt and we arch our spine, you've got a little bit too far for your body. To make this harder again, you're going to knock the chin towards the chest, round yourself forward, gaze along the horizon. Inhale, hug, one way stretch to the back of the leg, reach the opposite leg, away, and then change. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Draw the breath in, let the breath go. Stable through the pelvis, stable through the spine. Stay rounded forward if you're into forward flexion. That drawn the leg in, that reaching the leg away. One more side. Inhale and exhale. Two legs to tabletop and rest it down. Hug those knees in. We're going to pop those 2 feet down onto the floor. Pelvis back into neutral. Toes pointing in the same direction as the knees. Hands onto our thighs. We're going to inhale, lock the chin towards the chest, and just slide those hands up towards the tops of the knees, as high up the thighs as you can. Pelvis stays stable, and glide it down. So we're going to add little layers onto some of the exercises. You just stop whichever level is right for your body. If it doesn't feel right for your body, you just don't do the exercise. You just stay with the level that did feel good. On the next one, round it forward. We're going to inhale, take our arms back in line with our ears, exhale, sweep them round, tap to the outside of the knees or the tops of the knees as tall as you can. Inhale and exhale. So stay with the arms, gliding up and down the thighs if that was better for you. Don't take your arms as far back if this is too challenging, but take them back in line with the ears if that is possible in your body. We're going to inhale the breath, exhale, sweeping it round, and as the arms come overhead, going to try and get our body and our spine to sink a little lower to the floor. You keep that nice height and that forward flexion if you can. And glide it round and then slide it back down. Perfect. Take the 2 legs up to tabletop. You can keep your head and your hands down onto the floor, or you can round yourself forward into flexion, chin slightly down towards your chest. This time the upper body's going to stay still and the lower body's going to mobilize. So we inhale, we send the 2 legs away, we open through the hips, we make sure the pelvis isn't tilted, we're drawing the rib cage together and hug the knees back in. Gaze along the horizon as we said, keeping those legs pressed together, drawn up through the pelvic floor as we inhale and reach. Exhale, hug. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hug. Take them a little higher if you need to make it easier. Take them a little lower if you have the range and can keep the stability. Lengthen, draw back in. One more, lengthen away and draw back in and rest it down. Little roll from side to side. This time we're going to add the two together. We're going to alternate. So we're going to lower the chin towards the chest, bring yourself forward into flexion if you're doing the forward flex position. Hands by the side of your knees. We're going to keep the lower part of our body still, so dissociating our upper and our lower part of our body as we take our arms back and sweep them round. Now keep the upper body still as we send the legs away and hug them back in. Every move, we're looking for precision and control. We control the movement. The movement doesn't control us. We inhale, we sweep it around. We inhale, we have it back in with the exhale. Inhale, exhale, press the center. Inhale, exhale, hug it back in. One more. Inhale, sweep it around with the exhale. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, hug it back in and rest it down. Perfect. Stay with any of the levels we've done, just the arms, just the legs, or alternating upper and lower, or we're going to add the two together. Pelvis neutral, legs tabletop. Nod the chin towards the chest, peel yourself forward into flexion, rest on the tips of the shoulder blades, gaze along the horizon, arms reaching toward the outside of your knees. We're going to inhale, open, pause for a second, exhale, empty the breath, press it to center. Keep those inner thighs glued together. Gently draw the rib cage together, not letting the ribs pop, keeping that connection through the core as the waist gently hugs away from the waistband to the trousers. We've got three more. We inhale and we exhale. Lengthen and press back in. And our last one, open it out, press back to center, rest the head down, hug the knees in, and give a little roll from side to side. Okay, we're on to our crisscross this time. So we're going to start with our feet down on the floor. Again, we're going to layer this exercise. You stop where it's right for you. Pelvis is in neutral. Cradle the head in the hands. Inhale. As you exhale, round it forward. We're going to fold. So think about that Pilates box. We're looking for the top right corner to fold to the bottom left. So as we inhale, we find our connection. And exhale, cross shoulder to hip. Inhale, center. Opposite shoulder to opposite hip. Bring it to center. Fold it over, squeeze and draw back into center. Exhale, cross it over, bring it to center. Now, if you want to make this a little harder, we're going to bring our two legs to tabletop. As we cross the shoulder over, you can extend one leg, bring it all the way back in. Cross the opposite shoulder to hip, extend the other leg, lengthen, bring it back in. One leg stays still as the other leg reaches. Bring it back in and stabilize. Cross over with that exhale, inhale, bring it and stabilize. We have 3, and change. We have 2 and change. Last one. And change. Bring it to center and rest it down. Hug those knees. Give a little roll from side to side. Hop those 2 feet down on the floor. Toes pointing forward, spine nice and long, pelvis into neutral. Hip distance apart, put your fingers down towards the mat. Just walk them down to the toes to draw the shoulders down to get that length in the neck. And then we're just going to give a little release and just gently roll from side to side. Release it and then bring it back into center. And we're going to take it to our 100. So if you're familiar with the 100 exercise, feel free to take your legs to one of the other levels. I'm going to stay with the beginner's level. I want you to really focus on the nice beats with the arms and that nice forward flexion and really focusing on that breath, okay? So our feet are down, toes pointing forward, knees in alignment with the toes, pelvis neutral. We're going to walk our fingers down towards our toes and bring our chin towards our chest. So bring yourself into forward flexion. You can keep your head rested down. You can put the tail under it to give just a little bit of height and support if you need to. And I'm going to hover the arms off the floor. So our arms are like levers, okay? We're not just letting them flop about. It's a definite, precise pumping and beating off those arms. These are going to help the lymphatic system work. It's going to get everything flowing and moving around the body. It's going to help cleanse and take away the toxins. So make sure we get those nice strong beats into the arms. We're going to breathe in for the count of 5, nice and wide and flow to the side. Then as you exhale the breath for the count of 5, we're going to do that 10 times, so that's 100 breaths. That's if I can count and make sure I get the right count for this. So we're going to round forward, reach to the middle fingers, we're ready to go. We're going to breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, gaze along the horizon, And exhale, keep rounding forward. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, nice and wide and flow to the sides. And exhale and softly blow the breath through the mouth. Breathing in. And exhale and empty that breath. We're halfway. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, keep those arms nice and strong. And exhale, keep reaching through the middle fingers. We're breathing in, expanding into the sides of the body. And then softly exhale and blow that breath away through the mouth. 2 to go in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly roll yourself down. Let the hands rest down. Let the head rest. Reach to the crown of the head. I'm going to just take gentle rolls of the head from side to side and release through the neck. Perfect. Bring it back into center. Realign. Square up that flattest box. We're going to scoot those heels a little closer to our sit bones this time. And we're just going to take it into our shoulder bridge. So our hands are down onto the mat. We're going to begin to peel the tailbone off. As we begin to peel the tailbone off the mat, the lower back and the belly button is going to sink down towards the floor. And slowly and sequentially peel the spine off, open through the fronts of the hips, activate through the back of the legs and the glutes, press the pelvis tall to the ceiling. And we're looking for that nice seesaw from knees to hips to shoulders. When you're up there, just give a little bit of feedback to yourself, hands to the backs of the legs and glutes, and just try to open through the hips a little bit more. Slide your hands down your thighs towards your knees and think about the energy reaching all the way through the fronts and the knees. And then hands on your wrists and just close the ribs. So again, ribcage and the chest and pop, they're in connection and we're just using that corset. Inhale the breath, and as you exhale, begin to lay the spine down, letting the chest and the sternum melt down to the mat. Letting one vertebrae create space, lay the next one, sequential lay down of the spine to the lower back, the back of the pelvis, and the tailbone reaches away. Again, we're going to inhale, lengthen, exhale, peeling it up, pressing the pelvis towards the ceiling, holding it there. Arms can be rested down onto the floor, or make it a little bit more challenging and reach those arms tall to the ceiling. So stacking shoulder, elbow, wrist, and fingertips. We're going to wrap that corset, we're going to sink the bottom down and then press back up. Sink it down, press back up. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, lower, exhale, press. 5, press. 4, press. 3, press up. 2, press up. Last one, press up. If you wish to make this a little harder, we're going to take the arms over our head. We're going to get that nice stretch from fingertips to tailbone and knees. Inhale the breath there, and then as you exhale, melt the spine down. Get a lovely stretch through our body, one vertebrae at a time, till the back of the waistband goes down, then the back of the pelvis, and then the tailbone reaches away. And then take a nice full body stretch, one leg and the other. Lengthen the body nice and long. Big breath in, big breath back out. Sweep the arms round, hop the knees in. Get a little roll from side to side. Hands to the backs of the thighs. Nod the chin towards the chest and bring yourself back up into sitting. Okay, a little stretch before we take it onto our hands and knees again. Hands onto the fronts of the shins. Just lengthen that spine nice and long. Open through the chest. Glide the shoulders down. And then when you're ready, taking it over into our 4-point kneeling. So get yourself stacked up again. We're looking for our shoulders directly over our wrists. Press the fingertips gently into the mat. Lift the chest and sternum off the floor. And this time we're going to tuck our toes under. And think about those 10 toes again, not letting the little toe just hang around, making sure it's involved, it's working, it's connected. And we're just going to float our knees up and just hold it into our hover knees. So we're going to wrap that corset and hug. We're going to lengthen through the spine, top of the head to tailbone, and we're just going to breathe full into the sides of the body. As you exhale, feel that corset wrapping, feel that connection. Feel your arms are lengthening longer, your spine lengthening from top of the head to tailbone. You stabilize, you've connected, and then gently rest it down. Stay with that same position, or if you wish, you're going to tap and lower, okay? So we're going to float it back up. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. Lower it down, draw back up. As we float those knees and draw back up, exhale the breath, drop through the pelvic floor, wrap that corset. Inhale, exhale, 3, draw back up, 2, draw back up, 1, draw back up. Take a step back with the other leg, we're into our plank, and we're going to slowly, with control, lower the body down towards the floor and untop those toes. Just adjust the arms so they're in a more comfortable position, just either side of the shoulder, draw the shoulders down towards the base of the spine again, Letting the arms just tuck in by the side of the body and get that nice length through the back of the neck. So imagine underneath your chin, just a soft little peach. We're just going to inhale the breath, and as you exhale, just start to bring your body up into extension. We don't need to go too high, just a little extension. So we're just going to feel the base of the ribs just gently connecting the floor, then lengthen the spine away nice and long. Maintaining the length through the back of the neck, not losing that soft little peach. So we've not lifted our head too high that we drop the peach. We've not dropped our chin to our chest too far that we squash the peach, and then gently glide it back down. On the next one, we're just going to sit up again, lengthen those legs, tops of the feet gently press into the mat, pubic bone tucked in, scooping the belly button off the floor. We're going to inhale, lengthen, exhale, find that extension. We're going to glide our right hand along the mat, and again, we're just laying down motor patterns, we're staying in connection, but feel free to stay at this level if this is right for your body. Holding that soft peach, we glide one arm away and the other, but we're trying to maintain that extension into our spine. One more, left hand, glide it back in and lower back down. This time, if you want to add the arms lengthening off the floor, just make it a little bit more challenge. We're going to inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, hover the arms as well. Same movement, so feel free to stay with the other one. We're going to inhale, reach the right arm, exhale, elbow to hip. Inhale, reach the left arm, exhale, elbow to hip. Right arm lengthens, reaches up and into center of the room, elbow back. Left arm, reach up and into center of the room, glide it back. Now, if you wish, we're going to go both arms for 3, draw both arms down. And 2, reach through the fingertips and crown of the head. Exhale, elbow to hips. And last one, glide the hands away, glide the elbows back, lower the body down and the hands down. Slide the hands underneath the forehead. Let the forehead gently rest down onto the backs of the hands and take it to a little bottom rock as you gently rock the bottom from side to side. This is very calming and organising for the mind, the body, the central nervous system. Just tries to ease out any lower back pain. And just keep that gentle movement, nice and smooth, nice and rhythmical. And then when you're ready, just bring it back into centre. Pause in there for a second. Slide your hands again, just in line with our shoulders. Drop the shoulders down away from our ears. And we're just going to take it up into a little swan dive. So inhale, lengthen the spine. As we exhale, we begin to lift the head, the neck, the chest. Healing yourself up only as far as is comfortable in your body. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears. And then inhale the breath. As you exhale, lay and lengthen the spine down. Each time you come down, imagine that you're reaching that spine a little longer along the mat, creating more space and awareness into the body. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, healing up. When we're up there, take a nice breath in. If you wish, add the rotation with the exhale. Look over the right shoulder, down towards the right toes. Inhale, bring it to center. Exhale, look over the left shoulder, down towards the left toes. Inhale, bring it into center. And exhale slowly. Lay the body down. Adjust the hands if you need to. We're going to push the floor away, bring up into our half plank. Walk all the way back until the bottom sits down onto the heels and walk those hands away into our shell stretch once again. Tailbone as close to the heels as you can. Stretch through that lower lumbar spine. Take that nice full breath in through the nose. Fill to the back of the pelvis. Expand to the back of the ribs and the shoulders. And as you exhale that breath, let the bottom sink on the heels, the body rest on the thighs and melt down into the mat. Perfect. When you're ready, we're just going to take it over onto our sides for our side legs, okay? I'm going to give you 2 versions for our side legs. One is going to be your arm lengthened and straightened. We're going to rest really down onto the floor. This is just going to give your head and neck a little bit more support. I still want you to focus on what's happening on the core and the corset. So this is option number 1, okay? Bottom leg's going to be forward at an angle, top leg's in alignment straight with the body. If you're in this version, make sure that you plug that arm into its socket and we've not got the shoulder hanging off our ear, okay? We've got that nice length. The next leg will make it a little bit harder. We're going to bring it up onto our forearm. Make sure we stacked and loaded the joints, so shoulder directly over our elbow, forearm pressed into the mat, and feel that corset wrapping and lifting. So we're not just hanging around out here, floating the leg up and down. We've got that definite precision, control, and stability, okay? So find your level. The top leg, we're just going to reach that leg a little longer to make sure that the underside of the waist is lengthened as well as the top side of the waist. Pop this top hand in front just to stabilize. We're going to lengthen through the leg, through the knee, through the ankle, and the toes. Open across the chest and the collarbone. We're going to start with the flex and point. So draw the toes back, push the toes away. So we're working that stability and that awareness as we use that flex and point to stretch to the front and back of the leg, but also to use those big muscles to pump the blood all the way down to extremities. That takes the nutrients down and then helps to take the toxins away. We've got one more and point. Now we inhale, tap it down, exhale it just to hip height, no higher. Now, I want you to think about again is that we have a marker on our big toe, and we're going to retrace the same path each time. The leg's not drifting forward or back, it doesn't go higher or lower, it keeps in that nice, precise, controlled movement. We have 3 more. Inhale, exhale, 2 more. Press, 1 more, press. Now flex, push down through the heel, point lift through the toe. Flex down through the heel, lift through the toe. Perfect. Draw back up, push down through the heel, lift up through the toe. Lengthen, keep it lifted through the underside, 2 more, draw back up, and 1 more, and draw back up. From there, we're going a little higher, little pulses, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stabilize. Visualize a big circle. We're going to draw the leg down, round, draw back up and hold. Inhale one way, exhale, scoop up and hold. Last one forward, draw back up. We've got 3 reverse. We inhale one way, bring it back up and hold in your belly. Lovely. Inhale down, round, exhale, scoop it back up. And our last nice control circle. Hold it there, reach and lengthen, and rest it out. Perfect. Take it to the other side, okay? So flip yourself over. Choose whichever level you wish, lying all the way out or taking it up onto your forearm. Stack shoulder over elbow, find that nice strong base if you're up on the forearm. Lift the underside of the body, wrap the ribcage, wrap the corset, sorry. Flip the top leg, find the bottom leg forward and find that nice stability. Find that length into the muscles and into the leg. Get that connection to stabilize. We're ready for our flex and points. So again, full range. Draw the toes back, push the toes away. Keep that corset connected, keep lifted on the underside of the body, shoulders relaxed, open through the chest, and then point the toes. We inhale, tap, exhale, glide back up. Draw that line with that big toe as we glide up and glide it down. Keeping connected, perfect. We've got 3, press back up, 2, press back up, and 1, press back up. Now we flex the foot down through the heel, point, lift through the toe, down through the heel, lift through the toe. Flexing lower, point and lift, lovely. Keep it in the same alignment, just getting that flex and point. 3, draw back up and 2, draw back up and 1, bring it back up. It's hip height, it's lengthened, we're lifted, we're stabilized. Little pulses, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Control. As we get the circles, beware not to move the pelvis or the spine. We're stabilizing as we circle down and draw back up and hold. The only thing moving is this leg. Circling it down and draw back up and hold, ready to reverse. Inhale one way, exhale, scoop it back up, hold in your belly. Inhale down round, exhale, scoop it back up. And last one, down round, draw back up and hold and lengthen, stabilize and release it back out. Perfect. We're going to take it into all fours. We're going to sit the bum down onto the heels for a second. Let that bottom rest down into a little shell stretch. Just going to begin to stretch it out. And then when you're ready, bring it up onto all fours. Find that length from top of the head all the way down to the tailbone. We're going to take our right hand, put the back of the hand down onto the mat. Inhale the breath, and as you exhale, thread the needle, slide that hand between the left hand and knee, and take it down so that the shoulder and the head can sink as close to the floor as you can. As we inhale, we're going to sweep that hand all the way tall to the ceiling. Open the body out, fill the breath in. And as you exhale, again, it's that wringing of everything internal. When Joseph Pilates talks about that internal shower cleansing, getting the blood flowing, open it all the way back up and rest it down. Ready for the other side. Square the Pilates box, lengthen the spine. Inhale to prepare, exhale, thread it through, wring it out. Stretch on that shoulder girdle. You let the head and the shoulder sink as close to the floor as your body allows. And then we're going to sweep it up with that nice inhale, open it out, and exhale, threading it through. And one more inhale, taking it all the way tall to the ceiling. And rest it down. Perfect. Take it over onto your back now. We're just going to stretch as we lay down onto the mat. Bring those two knees in towards the body, hug them in, give it a roll from side to side, and release that lower lumbar spine. Pop the hands on top of the knees over hips. Let that heavy femur just rest in the hip socket. And we're just going to do little circles with our knees, keeping those hips nice and healthy. Get that nice smooth movement one way, and then reverse the circles the opposite way. Lovely. Take the left foot, pop it down on the floor, and slide it away if that's comfortable for you. Keep it bent if you prefer. We're going to hold on to that right leg and gently draw that right thigh bone in towards the body. Stretch to the back of the leg, stretch into the glutes. Allow the shoulders just to relax. As we inhale, draw the breath in, and as you exhale, just hug it in a little deeper if that works for you. And then gently release. We're going to take our right hand onto the floor. Take the left hand over the body to the outside of that right knee. Lengthen the spine, so we have a nice lengthened spine before we add that rotation. As you exhale, use that left hand to gently guide the right knee across the body. Just getting that nice rotation into the spine, stretch to the back of the pelvis, stretch to the waist. And just holding it at your point. The gaze tall to the ceiling. The shoulders trying to stay in connection with the floor. Inhale the breath, and as you exhale, just letting the weight of the leg, the gentle weight of the arm, and gravity just gently sink you deeper into that stretch. And then slowly with control, bring it back into center. Hug your two knees in, give a little roll from side to side, and then take hold of the left leg. Pop the right foot down, slide the leg away. Draw the breath in, exhale, hug the thigh bone in towards the body. Big breath in, exhale. Big breath out, stretching to the back of the leg and into the glutes. And then gently release left hand to the floor. Cross the right hand to the outside of that left leg, ready to guide it. Find the length of the inhale into the spine, and as you exhale, begin to gently get that rotation. Guide that left leg over the body, sinking down towards the floor on the right side. Stretching and opening through the sides of the body, gaze staying tall, opening across the chest. A breath in. And as you exhale, sink into it just a little deeper. And then bring it all the way back into center. One last little hug of the knees. Give it a roll from side to side. Pop the 2 feet down onto the floor, hip distance apart. Just gentle swishes with the knees from side to side. Give a little release. Breathing in and breathing out. Then bring the legs back into center. Walk your fingers down to the toes to draw the shoulders away from the ears. Getting the length into the neck before we just get gentle head roll. Side to side. Nice and easy. And then bring it back to center. Now we're just going to focus on a little bit of relaxation, a little bit of breath work. So feel free to stay on the mat, lengthen your legs away if that's comfortable for you. Feel free to bring yourself into kneeling or into sitting if that works better. Whichever position you can maintain that nice open Pilates box. So for a moment, just focus on here now and the breath. I'm going to draw the breath in through the nose. Once again, let the nose warm and cleanse the breath. Feel that breath while you feel into the sides of the body, and then softly exhale the breath through the mouth. We're now going to take it into an inhale for the count of 6, and an extended exhale for the count of 8. So we're going to really try to calm down the mind, the body, the central nervous system, and focus on that nice full exhale and inhalation. Okay, so when you're ready, draw the breath in through the nose, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Exhale through the mouth, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Nice inhale through the nose, 2, 3, 4, 5, and expand for 6. Blow the breath away through the mouth, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and empty for 8. One last time. Draw the breath in through the nose. Bring that cleansed, energized breath into the lungs, into the ribs, into the sides of the body in the Pilates box. Slowly and softly exhale that breath through the mouth. Blow away the stress, blow away the tension, release and empty any toxins, clear the lungs of the stale air, last 7 and last 8. Now just slowly returning your breath back into your own pace at your own time. But just make sure it's a nice mindful breath coming in through the nose, bringing in that nice, light, cleansed, energized breath. And a soft release through the mouth, gently exhaling, letting go, releasing. Inhale that breath, bring in that energy. And as you exhale in each breath, just allow your eyes to gently rest in the sockets. Allow the skin across the forehead, the cheeks and the chin just to gently melt across the face. Soften through the jaw, let the tongue gently rest in the mouth. Open through the throat, relax through the neck. Allow the chest just to gently relax and fall. Just to be aware of the breath into the stomach and then just gently letting go. Allowing the pelvic floor to flow back down into place, no holding, no tension, no tightness, just letting go. Just being aware of the pelvis, just gently melting down into the mat. Drawing that breath in and letting that breath go. We're going to take one last breath. We're going to take that nice, calm, energized breath in. We're going to fill that breath into each and every part of our body, expanding into the sides of the body in the Pilates box, expanding into the front and the back of the body in the Pilates box, expanding into the top and the bottom of the body and the Pilates box. Let that breath expand into each and every cell. And as you slowly and softly empty that breath, once again, let go of the tension, the stress, the toxins. Get rid of anything that doesn't serve us any longer. Once you've let go of that breath, just once again, bring that breath back into your own pace. Just taking your time, giving your fingers a little wiggle and the toes a little wiggle, just bringing the awareness back into the extremities, bring the awareness back into here and now. And then taking a nice breath in. And as you exhale, if you were lying down, slowly bring yourself back up into sitting. And that is you. Thank you so much once again for joining in the class today. I will put the information for any donations if anybody wishes to onto the social media sites. Please do go and check yourself. Please do pass on the message. And I really appreciate you being here again. Thanks so much. There will be, if it's done right, there will be a recording of this that I will post onto the YouTube channel that anybody can access. Okay, thanks again. Take care.
Well done, Lindsay.
Now it's time to turn it off.
Thanks, Lindsay.
Good job. Thank you.
Thanks so much, guys. Thank you. I hope you enjoy
your weekend.
Yes.